engineering هندسة عين شمس I'm 25 years old مش كبير قوي بس I tried to start early I used to live in Malaysia for 4 years and there I used to study Flash. I don't know if you're familiar with Flash or not. Flash Macromedia Flash was acquired by Adobe. I was an animator. I used to animate. I'm not a graphic designer. I'm horrible at designing. But I used to take objects and start animating it. And I used to do that with some customers online, so their online websites. This was in 2006, between 2006 and 2008. And during, I used in college to work with some different projects at Google and Intel. We used to work on applying some social networks because I was very, very interested in the idea of the digital, and I believe that it will be the future. It's now communication is changing, or technology is changing the way we communicate now. So, and I believe that this time that social media is going to be, or digital, it's going to be something huge, and it's going to trend sooner or later. So, and the story started when I started TEDx Cairo. I don't know if you're familiar with it. Do you know TEDx Cairo? I started TEDx Cairo with two of my partners in 2009, and our objective is to build a platform for the Egyptians to inspire the world, not only the Egyptians, and try to build a platform where they can talk about anything, about technology, about science, physics, music, everything. And during TEDx Cairo, we try to use the digital as the main communication tool with our community, and try to build a community online, try to discuss with them different topics, and try to introduce the culture of TED in 2009 when nobody knew about it in Egypt. Not much, but in 2011 we were awarded as the best social media case study in TED International, and we got awarded in Edinburgh, Scotland, where we talked about our case study. And during this, I had this passion for social media, and said, why don't I start my agency, my advertising agency, where my main focus is to introduce the culture of digital and social media, because we're very inspired by what's happening in the States and Europe, since it's the hub for digital. And at this time, there was no many digital agencies in Egypt that introduced the real culture of the interactions and building stories. And we found that most of the companies here in Egypt, they came from an online advertising background, which is pure advertising. If you want to position your brand online, you have to invest lots of money on Google and Facebook ads, and they don't care about building a digital or social experience for their customers or for their clients. That's why we started to start Kijami. احنا في كجامي we started في 2011 April 2011. ودي عندكم أي فكرة what كجامي means? What does كجامي mean? It means social. But okay, another question. Why do you think we choose this name? Like Kijami. And how relevant Kijami is social to come on, wake up. Today is the Mother's Day, I know. I should celebrate that. That's why I'm going to show you some case studies we have done for the mothers and the Mother's Day. That's why I didn't sleep yesterday, because we'll have to finalize some campaigns for the mothers. But try to wake up. وقولوا لي يعني ليه احنا اخترنا as Kijami يعني؟ Kijami جاية منين؟
Do you realize that this is still on, huh?
Yes, but you don't have to look at it. Okay, طيب احنا زي ما قلت لكم when we started, we found that most of the agencies they're coming from online advertising background, and we're trying to build a story for our company. We're just researching, trying to find where did social media come from, or where did the word social come from. And since we came from Africa, and since we came from Africa, and since we found that the tribes, the African tribes, they were very well connected. عندهم شيخ القبيلة, Shumba, and Sheikh al-Qabila, they always try to tell stories. They used to meet in circles. They used to discuss, tell stories, of their origin, of their history, and this is the real essence of social media. Social media is about interaction with your community. It's about telling your stories. It's about storytelling. It's about having a feedback. فلقينا قلنا طب احنا why not to present the old tribal values through the new virtual world, which is the social media. We tried to find the dominant language in Africa. We found it in Swahili. أعطونا مخاطة وقع شهيرة كده. فقلنا we tried to search for كلمة social بالسواحيلي لقينا اسمها كجابة. We found this name very interesting. I get back to my investor. We found the company's name. It's كجابة. I'm super excited and we started. We started by 3. احنا في 2011 in April 2011 كنا 3. Now we're 15 in 2 years. We surprisingly 7 of my team من 15 they're GSEs, which is something very interesting to me. I love working with them. They're very smart. They're very smart, and I feel comfort while they're brainstorming, working in digital experiences. And the designers, I think 3 of the 4 designers I have, they're GSEs. Noor, Nurhan, Mia, Laila Hasaballah. And what's interesting in the Amali who built the branding of Kijami, the masks and the logo and the identity is Inji Ali. She used to be a teacher assistant here. She's a very good friend of mine. I'm super excited about Kijami. She helped me to build this identity. Thank you for giving the opportunity to come here and present you. Well, thanks for giving us smart people who can help us to. So what I'm trying to do now, إن أنا عايز أقول لكم, I want to explain to you how we work. إحنا بنعمل إيه بالظبط. And we set up a mail, gc@kijami.com. If you're interested, just drop a mail. عليه. If you want to do internship in summer, if you want to work, anything you want to explore about digital, drop us a message. And we're very كده connected online. We'll get back to you because we love working with you. So again, I'll get back to Kijami. What we do, we realize digital experiences. This is what we say. We started in 2011, in April 2011. We tried to introduce the real culture of social media. With social media, as I told you, it's about interaction. So what we try to do, social or digital, it's not only about online, it's about cross-switching between what's happening online and the offline community. So if you have an event, if you have a kiosk, if you have a booth, if you have an object, we always think how to turn this object into an interactive thing. And this is how we can build a community. Communities are built around interactions. So we have to search and to find things that people can talk about. We do 4 things. We do online research to understand the brand, the identity, tone, communication imperatives, everything about the brand. And the second thing, we design. We design what? We design the digital strategy. And the digital strategy includes the visuals, the online identity, the development, the technical things we do for the clients, applications, Facebook applications, games, iPad applications, everything related to online. And I'm going to discuss this more due to the case studies. And the third thing is the community, and we call it community building. What we position ourselves as Kijami, we build communities for the brand. So, if for example, Coca-Cola came and said we have this campaign at Gannon, and we want to make a buzz and a movement about this campaign in the digital, we think how to take this campaign and to build an interaction around Gannon through content, through a Facebook game, through an application whatsoever. So we think strategically, how can we publicize it Gannon online? So people can share with us their thoughts, how they got busy and this stuff. And the 4th thing is measuring. And measuring is the most important thing. لأن at the end of the day, we come up to the client with a report. This report is a monthly or weekly or bi-weekly. And this we show the results. Results of the KPIs, key performance indicators. How did we achieve our goal? How did we, the visibility in the campaign, the number of impressions, how many people see this campaign, and try to analyze all the components of the success and what we have missed as well. So they got to understand more about the consumers, the consumer behavior, and everything related to the brand identity, everything. So in the measuring, we have our measuring tools, and we also work with some partners like PageLever, Radiant6, Social Bakers, if you're familiar with. It's technical tools, and if you have any questions, please let me know. And this is I want to make it interactive as much as we can, so interrupt me anytime. مش عايز أخلص, and then you ask me. Sure.
Are you familiar with a company called Yaya? It was the first company that used online gaming to advertise also for identities.
Yaya, no. But there's many companies. How old is it?
Sorry?
How old is the company?
I know the guy who started it's called Keith Firazzi. He wrote a book about connections, but he was working in Yaya. I think they were similar to what you're doing with using online games and applications to advertise for other companies.
Yeah. So the last thing is measuring, as I told you, and those are we've been in the market for 1 year and 11 months, and those are our list of clients. Part of the clients we work with, for me, Schweppes is very interesting. Lavoir, Clorox, and the most interesting account that I love working with is Philips. I'm going to show you some of the campaigns that the case studies that we have done for them. But what I'm trying to say now is either you're thinking about an idea or a concept or a company that you want to start up, or you're thinking about taking the graphic design career path or whatever career path is. But I see economically now, I know that we're very disappointed, though the bad moments or the sad moments that we're running through, but I see that I'm trying to be very optimistic, and I see that I started my company immediately after the revolution in April 2011, which is 2 months after the revolution. And I remember my dad, he told me, what are you trying to do? But I was very excited about the idea. I was super excited. I had a huge passion for it in Egypt, and seriously, we enjoy working all together, and we enjoy delivering to our customers the digital experience. So, ما تسمعوش اللي بيحصل دلوقتي. The future, I'm very optimistic for the future. If you have an idea, go and make it. If you're trying to build for you a career path, do it right now. Build your vision, build your goals, and try to work on it from now. Then this is what we have done. What I'm saying is 2013, it's all about social media. So social media is about digital storytelling. It's about listening more to the community. واشرح لكم أكتر what does this mean. إن إحنا في أكتوبر اللي فات we took an award from the British Council. It's called the Young Media Entrepreneur Award. والأوورد دي إن إحنا كنا نسافر to travel to London to explore the tech community and the tech environment there. So we met with Google UK, Facebook UK. We went to two of the biggest advertising agencies there. It's called Mother and Hope. حد عارف أي حاجة منهم؟ You have to know that your graphic designers and those are one of the biggest London and UK. Google يعني شوفوا ما بيعملوا إيه. They're very 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 creative. For my team.
Mother and what?
Mother or Hope.
Mother Hope.
لا Mother it's an agency. Hope two agencies. No, it's Mother. وإحنا we always look up to what they're doing because they're very very creative. And part of what you do in your life, you have always to get inspired by campaigns and creative approaches that's happening around. فرحنا قابلناهم, and it was interesting to let them see how we work. We're always discussing the future of social media, the future of media. هتاخدنا على فين؟ رايحين فين؟ What's digital? And they always said like now it's about digital storytelling, and that's why the role of the graphic designers is very important at this particular set of time, because digital storytelling is about visualizing content. It's about building stories, and it's about how to reach and how to popularize my companies through storytelling. لما بقول على social media, I'm speaking to people. Me as a brand, Coke is speaking to people. Philips is speaking to people. بيتكلم معاهم, so the brand is being humanized. It's a person. This person has characteristics, tone, maybe he's aggressive, maybe is happy, cheerful. يعني Coca-Cola what's trying to position is happiness. I believe this is marketing manipulation. بس we don't have to discuss this now. لأن أكيد أنا ما بشرب كوك مش هبقى سعيد. مهم. بس الفكرة they're trying to relate a brand with the word happiness. So whenever you go to the digital, to the Facebook, to Twitter, they always post pages about happiness, how to make your life more happier, how to do things happily, how, and they use the word happy. What you try, أنت as a brand, and I always say this is the best thing in social media, and it's you're turning the brand to be a human that talks with the community. You can accept negative feedback, you can talk, you can listen, you can take from them ideas. And that's very interesting thing. And أنت كل يوم you always learn from the community. You talk, you got the feedback. Most of the online community somehow they're very كده moody. يعني they can ممكن يقلبوا عليك، ممكن يتكلموا بطريقة معينة. بس we have to know how to deal with them, and we have to know how يعني what we're trying to approach, what we're trying to build. يعني the community I want to build doesn't fit the target group. يعني كوك بتحاول توصل لإيه؟ Philips, I'm trying to reach which community, and this is the power of social media. You can identify the personality, the age group, the segmentation of any community for your brand, and you try to reach it online. الفرق ما بين دلوقتي وزمان that using TV or billboard or radio ads, that was a one-way communication. You don't listen to the community, you don't know any feedback, you don't interact with them. بس دلوقتي it's an infinite loop of communication. You can do many things with that. وأنا بحب أقول إن إحنا before يعني we use this and before this is my business, yes I know يعني and this is the communication ends. But now we have many tools to use, and we say that now everyone has a voice, it can be heard by millions, it can affect your brand, it can affect your reputation. You have to take care of the online community, you have to take care of the offline community, you have to take care of how to build the right community for you that can publicize and promote and enhance your brand reputation. And this is what happened in Egypt. With social media for us, it's not a new thing. يعني من زمان جدا زي ما بنقول the African tribes they used to talk, they used to tell stories. But now technology is changing the way we communicate. How I define social media is how to integrate the new technology, technological tools with the community, and try to identify all the assets for you. Like Facebook, you have many different assets, you have many different platforms. And we always كده بيطلع حاجات كتيرة زي مثلا lately Pinterest طلع، انستجرام، التولز تطلع على طول. الفكرة ان انا مش لازم ابقى موجود على كل الاسيتس دي او I have to use all the assets, but the smart company is to identify the right asset, the right tool, and you start investing in it and building the community. So you know how to build the right community for you. احنا بقى عندنا this is our values, like ان احنا this is what we're trying to do. This is Shumba that is the كبير القبيلة, and we always use it in our presentations for our clients as the guy who tells the story. And this is what we do. We try to build a community around sharing, interacting, building conversations, and finally storytelling. And this is the essence of the tribe, and this is our story, and this is how we sell. And actually, this is very profitable. Digital is very profitable. It gets you lots of money. Okay, but most of the companies think now it's distraction. يعني في tools كتيرة جدا، بس فيسبوك، تويتر، يوتيوب، دوكس زي تمبلر، زي دوك سبوت، زي ووردبريس، في حاجات زي لوكيشن بيست سيرفيسز زي جوالا، فور سكوير، في مصر انت فين، وسيركل تايم. في tools كتيرة جدا بتطلع. People are very distracted. But احنا اللي بنحاول نعمله ان احنا try to choose what's the right and the most suitable platform for the community accordingly to the market group. For example, مثلا if I'm trying to reach the C class, 80% انا مش ببقى عنصري بس يعني this is according to the segmentation بتاع brand. If you're trying to reach a C class people اللي بيتكلموا بطريقه معينه ليهم interest معينه. 80% of the C-class community موجود على فيسبوك. توتي فروتي، أميرة الظلام، حب الضائع. Actually we don't care about them. They only interact. They always interact. And يعني انتوا لو لاحظتوا احنا قليل قوي احنا we interact with our friends بس we don't interact with pages يعني ما نروحش كده اقعد لايك واو ايه حلو بتاع. احنا ده اللي بنحاول نوصل له شويه. فانا مش عنصري برضه، ما بحبش اقول كده، بس it depends على البتاع. Now we're changing. Now we found people are trying to interact with all different segments of people. بس احنا بنحب طبعا توت فروت يعني، فاحنا بنقول ان يعني if you use it right you know how to build a community where you have to go as creative as you can. لان الفكره دلوقتي مش ان انا ادخل على فيسبوك ويبقى فيه فوكا وبوست بوست وخلاص، لا I have to think how to publicize and how to promote the brand in a creative way that the community, that us, that anyone, any segment can feel that wow, they're doing something different, they're doing something great. I love to know, I love to follow them to know what they're trying to do. أنا it's a 1 minute history. أنا بحب أقول الإكزامبل ده على طول إن إحنا how the internet changed. إحنا من 1990 from 1990 to 2000 كان الإنترنت، كان دي بداية الإنترنت. كانت جوجل ساعتها ما كانش في حاجة اسمها جوجل. Google was not didn't start yet, and there was بس websites with hyperlinks, images. الصايع بقى البتاع اللي كان بيعمل بروشور حلو قوي ويحطه على الويب سايت. ده كان أصيع ويب سايت، ده من 1990 ل 2000. من 2000 ل 2011 it's now about لحد 2011 it was about connecting people. Connecting people ابتدى يظهر جوجل and the idea of the search, and they have to search for a brand or have to search for anything. And then Facebook came in 2006, Twitter, and they started to connect people. What do you think about in 2010 to 2020? What's happening now?
Connecting communities.
But it's connecting people.
The change.
That disconnecting that I will kill you.
حصل change في الuse بتاعت الإنترنت. Instead of just gathering information or researching for information, it's more about finding people and communicating.
Okay. Finding people and communicating, it's connecting people. Data and information, it's an interesting thing. بس جوجل بيعملها من 2010. بس it's من 2000 قصدي. بس it's a higher level. يعني it's a higher level than that.
I think websites themselves will start to disappear and will just be social media in a way.
Okay.
That every single website will be some sort of social media, or will definitely have some sort of interaction. And like even right now, any website you go to, even if it's not a social media website, it has a comment to their Facebook or log in their Facebook or tweet about it or whatever. So there's this whole trend of the entire web space going into social media. That there's nothing that can be posted without being commented on or shared or.
What's your name? Yaqub. Yaqub? Who agrees with Yaqub? In websites, they're هيروحوا and they start, it's gonna be about social media. It's about the interaction online, and it's not about having a website or something. لا, you have to wake up يا جماعة لأن همشي.
Nobody agrees with that. I agree with that. I agree.
ليه؟
No, and I think from 2010 to 2020, the internet is connecting the products with the people.
Allah, this is the most interesting I heard now. Then this is what we're trying to do. It's connecting food. يعني خلينا نرجع على ده بس I'll tell you how to. I'll give you an example in that. بس again أرجع ليعقوب. He said something that many people think of. بس إحنا we always say that websites, they will never vanish, but they will turn to be more interactive. And they try to connect the tools and the plugins of Facebook Connect, Twitter Connect, and this stuff. I'm trying, at the end of the day, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, it's about the community. But the website, we always say it's about the address. Like when I search about a company, the first thing that appears after Facebook, Twitter, and the digital is the website. And it's very important because Facebook doesn't meant to put all the basic information or the basic data about the company, but for the website we use it because it acts as a reference for the company. So we say that websites, it's your address, but when I talk about digital, it's Facebook and the digital assets about the mobile interaction. But that investigate. Shana added something very interesting, and this is a project we're doing now. أنا كنت عايز أقول لكم في الأول عليه، بس إحنا جزء. A big part of the company, it's about digital and building communities and direct selling for يعني we research team ده مكون من 4: visual artist, graphic designer, product designer, and developer. وده أحلى تيم في حياتي يعني بدون عنصرية. بس what we're trying to do ان احنا and this is الميكس ده بتاع جرافيك ديزاينر وفيجوال ارتست والديفلوبر والبرودكت ديزاينر، ان احنا كل يوم كده يبقى عندنا ويكلي بلان. البلان دي ان احنا to identify كده حبه بندو a research about objects and we think how to turn those objects to an interactive thing.